Dr. Dave Janda, welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to start focusing on our radio show that I've been hosting for the past 14 and a half years out of Wham Talk 1600 Studios in the People's Republic of Ann Arbor. I do that show live every Sunday, now for 14 and a half years, as I mentioned, from 2 to 5 Eastern. You can listen to the show live and free by going to davejanda.com toward the top of the home page, new and improved website, by the way. Tremendous amount of free public content there, as well as our premium service content and email service, 30 cents a day, $9 a month, biggest bang for the buck in all the internet, puts you months and years ahead of the curve. But you can listen to the show live and free by hitting the listen live button every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. If you miss it, the podcasts, commercial free, are part of our subscription service. Now we're going to start a little segment here on the social media platforms called Operation Freedom Radio Soundbites. And in particular, I want to start out with a financial soundbite. We recently had Adriana Reed on the radio show. She is phenomenal. The listeners love her, as does anyone that's about and focuses on financial freedom. She is a specialist in the best financial insurance policy you could potentially ever have, and that is physical gold and silver. My dad used to say, if you can't own it, you don't own it. And when it comes to paper assets, stocks, bonds, treasury bills, they're all have a component of debt, D-E-B-T. And he used to say, and he's been actually proven right over the years, paper is vapor, which then melds into his, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. In other words, physical gold and physical silver, where there is no counterparty risk, no debt, D-E-B-T, associated with it. We recently saw in the Oval Office, President Trump sign an executive order for the establishment of a sovereign wealth fund. And at the same time, we had the Secretary of the Treasury there, Scott Bessent, has come forward and say that yes, the sovereign wealth fund, yes. And then he mentioned about the fact, well, we have assets on the books of the government that are undervalued. What could he have been referring to? On the books of the United States federal government, they have physical gold listed as $42 an ounce. On the markets right now, it's $2,900, $3,000 an ounce. There's a question that to increase the asset side of the balance sheet, to monetize the balance sheet, they're going to, if you will, bring the market value on the balance sheet of gold from $42 an ounce to market prices, or even higher, to generate, if you will, an accounting, not trick or gimmick, but an accounting practice of then you can say you have X number of dollars to reduce the debt or to buy back the existing debt. This is monetization of the balance sheet. Now, we've also been seeing huge amounts of physical gold and physical silver, like never before, coming into our country. And we have heard President Trump on several occasions, as well as Elon Musk and some of his economic advisors, speaking about we need to audit the gold. Remember, the existing supplies of physical gold for our government are held at Fort Knox, West Point, Denver, and in the New York Fed underneath the streets of Manhattan in vaults. Before they can monetize the balance sheet, they have to audit the gold. Now you might say, well, that's done every year? No, actually. A forensic audit where bar numbers are compared to ownership, where the bars are assayed, where everything is audited forensically. The last time that happened was in the 1950s. Yeah, there's been some other audits like in 1974 but very superficial. So this audit is the kickstart for monetization of the balance sheet. And what they're telling you is they are going to revalue the dollar and revalue, in other words, depreciate the dollar, and revalue the debt. And you need to protect yourself. And you're not hearing this through the bought-off lamestream fake media. And that's where Adriana Reed from the Camino Company, the best precious metals company on the planet, CaminoCompany.com. Camino, C-A-M-I-N-O, CaminoCompany.com. Here is what Adriana Reed, short soundbite of our of our longer 23-minute interview, which is on the website at davejanda.com. Here is a brief soundbite.
Absolutely. So what he's doing is the same thing that I do on a small scale when I work with families, is that what we do with our business is we make sure that your assets offset the debt that our country has put upon you and the inflation that you're experiencing right now. So by doing this, he's actually going to end up saving the country if they can fulfill this mission that we're on to try to preserve our country, because gold is the only thing that can get us out of this situation. It's the same reason why the central banks hate us. It's the same reason why banks hate us, because we are the only asset that you can completely clear your bank account and stay just as rich as you were before, and they would have no power over you whatsoever. And so that's what I think we're heading towards. I think that there's golden years ahead. And, if they do this, I think Trump will go down as the greatest president of all time, to be frank.
And it's not just gold. It's huge quantities of physical silver that are also coming into the country, correct?
Yes, there is. Yes, absolutely. So, they're preparing on both sectors, and I think that that's absolutely critical. And I think that, we'll see things play out over the next couple of years. I think, like I said, great things are coming.
And in fact, in the Constitution, it says that money issued by the government is backed by either gold, a specific quantity, or silver.
Yes.
This is where we're going, isn't it?
Yes. And it's where we need to go, because for too long we have been riding on printing money like it was just hotcakes and not balancing our book sheets, selling our debt to foreign countries, letting other countries own us, paying interest so that the Americans are taking on, people want to complain about the tariffs causing taxes, but nobody talks about the money printing that has caused inflation and the taxes that we experience at this point in time by not being on a gold standard. They are not addressing the root cause and the infection that is in the government that has caused all of this far longer than Trump's even been in office. So, we can take it all the way back to 1913, and everything that we've experienced since then has been caused by our lack of creating a standard that is at benefit of the American people. And that's what we need to go back to, is that we need to have our taxes need to not be going towards interest payments. They need to be working for us. We need to have our taxes, pay for our roads and not pay for, bailing other countries out and all the other things that we've been printing money for. So, when we get back on this standard, I think that America will find that we are back to thriving. We can, we don't have families that are going to fall below the middle class line just because inflation hit. Credit card debt's out the roof. The different things that are going on right now. We've seen car repos pick up. It's all because of the money printing that we keep printing money without putting it on a standard. And if we get back to that, like I said, Dave, I'm excited for what it will bring.
And what it will bring is prosperity to every person, and stability, financial stability to every person who protected themselves. Ben Janda's rules, they hold true. We see President Trump, we see the Treasury now moving in that direction. If you can't hold it, you don't own it. And paper is vapor. I leave you with this. Someone who has been described as one of the best negotiators in the world, Donald Trump. I dug this out. This is a tweet he posted on July 30th, 2013, almost 12 years ago. The golden rule of negotiating. Interesting. The golden. It's kind of like, what did he say? We're entering the golden age of America. That word keeps coming up, right? Yeah. The golden rule of negotiating. He who has the gold makes the rules. Donald Trump, July 30th, 2013. And that's because physical gold and physical silver do not have DEBT, debt, associated with them. Protect yourself. Time is getting short. Join us at davejanda.com 24/7. The radio show every Sunday, 2 to 5 Eastern, Stream it live. Go to davejanda.com, hit the listen live button. You're with us. And if you want the podcast and the other fantastic, I do another 4 to 5 video format shows every week on that platform for subscribers, plus our email alert system. Join us. It's 30 cents a day, $9 a month. You can sign up for a month, and if you don't like it, get rid of it. But why? Because we put you months, years, in some cases, a decade ahead of the globalist constructed curve. Thanks for joining me today. DaveJanda.com. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.